Now, the small East European state of Moldova is at a crossroads, facing a fight over its future. Should it join the European Union, or should it resist the West and live within the orbit of its powerful neighbour, Russia? Well, Moldovans have voted in a referendum, and very narrowly they have backed, it seems, an initiative to enshrine EU accession into the constitution. It was a knife-edge result. The yes vote 50.5%, the no vote 49.5%, that's with just over 99% of the votes actually counted. Now, the Moldovan president, Maia Sandu, has blamed foreign forces and criminal gangs for the result being much, much closer than had originally been anticipated. And the European Union said that there had been unprecedented Russian interference in the referendum vote. Well, since Russia's invasion of Ukraine, Moldova's pro-Western and pro-Russian factions have become increasingly divided. One of the poorest European countries, it has been affected by the presence of Russian troops since the early 90s. Up to 700 people were killed then when the breakaway Transnistria declared independence. A three-party ceasefire agreement was enforced by Moscow. The Council of Europe defines the region as militarily occupied by Russia. Yet another young post-Soviet democracy will be put to the test this weekend. That is Georgia's parliamentary election, which is being seen as a crucial choice, once again, between Russia and the West. 1/5 of Georgia's territory is also considered as Russian-occupied, with the separatist regions of Abkhazia and South Ossetia being heavily dependent on Moscow's economic and military help. Well, on Moldova's election and the referendum, our Eastern Europe correspondent Sarah Rainsford now reports from Chisinau.
This was a referendum on the EU that was called by Moldova's president, but she has really struggled to get a yes vote. All the polls ahead of the referendum itself were predicting a comfortable win, but in the end there were just 13,000 or so votes between a yes and a no, a very, very tight race. Now, Maia Sandu, the president, has come out and said that is a win. She's congratulated Moldovans on choosing the path that she has set for Moldova towards the EU. But she also described what she called a dirty fight. She said it was a vile attack on Moldova's democracy. Now, what she was referring to was a network, essentially, a scheme that was uncovered by police and prosecutors here ahead of the vote to channel huge amounts of money from Moscow to Moldova to bribe people to vote against Maia Sandu and against the EU. Now, when I asked the president about that earlier today, I said, is this Russian meddling specifically? She wouldn't use the word Russia, but she did talk about criminal gangs and she talked about foreign forces. And certainly police have identified the money coming from Moscow. Now, at one polling station, we did see a woman looking for money. Essentially, she told us, she admitted that she had been paid to vote, although she wouldn't say who for. But that was some evidence that on the ground, at least, this was not a clean fight. Now, this wasn't a vote that Maia Sandu had to call, but she wanted it to really cement Moldova's way towards Europe. And that is because she has seen Vladimir Putin and his Russia as a threat, particularly since the full-scale invasion of Ukraine, which is right next door here. She has got a win, but this is not a comfortable win. And in fact, I think it leaves open very, very widely, very broadly, the question of where exactly Moldova's future politically will lie.